Okay, Mrs. Mayor, you are live on YouTube and you can start the meeting.
Okay, thank you, Leslie. So this meeting is a virtual meeting, and as pursuant to Governor Newsom's orders in 2920 and in 3320, we to help spread the slow the spread of the COVID-19 virus, the meetings will be adapted in the following way. So they will be conducted virtual electronic participation only, and members of the public may watch the live stream of the district meetings. And there is, it is bit.ly/Seaside YouTube. And members of the public may participate before and during each meeting by submitting comments to the city clerk at ci.seaside.ca.us. And the clerk will receive the public comment and read aloud at the meeting today, subject to the limitations pursuant to the Brown Act. And we will also ask for public comment if anyone is on the line joining us via phone that way as well. So at this time, I'll call to order the regular Board of Directors July meeting of the Seaside Sanitation District. And roll call, please, Leslie.
Second Vice Chair Kaspersky.
Here.
First Vice Chair Lintel.
Here.
And in place of Chair Blackwelder, we have alternate Carbone.
Thank you. And so Jerry was unavailable to be here today, and he should be at the next meeting next month. Okay, item 3, review of the agenda. So if there are any items that arose after the 22-hour posting deadline at this point in the meeting, where a vote can be taken to add the item to the agenda, and a 2/3 majority vote is required. Do we have, is there anything new submitted? I don't know who to ask. Would that be Leslie or Craig? Great. Okay. Okay, thank you. So we'll move on to public comment. And
I have a comment regarding the agenda. Is this the proper place to bring it forward or not?
Yes, it is. I will address
under new business number 6 on the agenda. It doesn't show anything yet. Included in the packet is a memo from Craig dated to today, July 14th, and regarding the Seaside, the sanitation code, the permits and inspections. And so should that be under new business?
I think that's a good point. And so we probably can pull that item. Is that if that's what we're looking to do for public comment? I see that you're talking about item 5C, introduction of ordinance amending Seaside County Sanitation Code, Chapter 4, at 1.5, permits and inspections to amend the connection capacity fees. And this is a second reading, so I believe that we'll need to take public input if anyone would like to. We'll have to open that up. My question, Craig, is where would you like to list that? It's not new business, is it? Is there item? Could we agendize an item or put it under new business or old business?
Yeah, I'm just a little confused. I think that item is item 5C.
Yes.
So it's on the consent agenda already.
Craig, look at page 11 of the packet.
Right. Okay, I am.
Okay, see, that's a memo from you and dated today.
Right, so it carries the date of the meeting. It's not that it was produced.
Right. That's the date of the meeting. Fine. But it wouldn't the second reading be under new business?
Well,
Can I weigh in here?
Yes, please.
With a recommendation to the board? I would recommend that so that we have a clean record in our agenda, that the agenda be amended and that 5C be added to the new business item so that it's clear that we're treating that as new business. And when that item does come up, it calls for a public hearing to be opened and then closed after any public comment. So I would recommend that the agenda actually be amended and 5C be moved from the consent item to a new business item.
Okay, so do we need a motion for that then, Michael?
Yes.
Okay, I move that we move item C of the consent agenda to new business.
Do I hear a second? A motion?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Roll call vote, I
Roll call
believe.
vote, thank you.
Okay.
Second Vice Chair Kaspersky,
Aye.
first Vice Chair Lintel,
Yes.
Chair Carbone.
Yes,
Motion passes unanimously.
okay, thank you. So with that, we will go ahead and take up items under consent, items A, B, and D. So there, in your packet, there's item A, there was a review. It was to review and approve the minutes of the July 9th meeting. There's a recommendation that that the minutes be reviewed and approved. Item B is to receive the Seaside County Sanitation District Operations Report for June of 2020. And there's a recommendation to accept the report, and this item is for information only. And then item D, approval of the minute of the May 2020 expenditure report for Seaside Sanitation District. There was a recommendation to approve the expenditures of May 2020 and drawdown of $302,305.40. And the total of the expenditures for May was $123,051.77. So I'm looking for a motion on those three for approval. So do I hear a motion? Have a motion?
I move to approve items A, B, and D in the consent agenda.
Thank you.
My second.
Okay, we have a second. Okay, thank you. Roll call vote, please.
Second Vice Chair Lintel, or Kaspersky,
Aye.
first Vice Chair Lintel,
Aye.
Chair Carbone.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Okay, great. Moving on to the new item that we moved 5C, which is under new business under the consent. This is, it's on page, you can find this in your agenda on page 11. And this is consideration of second reading, introduction of the ordinance amendment of Seaside County Sanitation Code, Chapter 4.5. And as I said, this is also permits and inspections to amend the connection capacity fees. And this is the second reading. So with that, staff, do we have a staff report?
Yes, thank you. This is Scott Ottmar, Senior Engineer with the City of Seaside. This is the second reading of the amendment to the Sanitation Code Chapter 415. We retained Bartle and Wells to update our capacity fees. The last fees were done in 2013, and it's typical within 5 to 10 year time frame to update fees, so it was time. They completed their report, which is included in your packet, and recommended a equivalent dwelling unit fee of $5,320 per EDU. And within the report, there is a comparison to other agencies. But I'll keep my update brief and actually leave it for questions.
Okay, thank you very much. Board questions, Alyssa?
Scott, thank you. Just one thing that I noted that was different in when it was presented here compared to when it was presented to the city council was that the comparisons to other cities were using different cities. So I wonder, could you explain sort of, I know we talked about it, these are somewhat expensive compared to what other cities on the peninsula are charging for new connections, but it seems like other areas, maybe the Bay Area is quite a lot more expensive. Is that true?
Yes, I would anticipate that. And to clarify, what was presented to the city was our water capacity fees. So
Oh, it was water. Okay.
it's not an apples to apples. Some of them would be overlapped. Marina Coast Water District was probably on the water comparison. But other than that, we wouldn't see many other local comparisons. So our fees are expensive. We've been spending a lot of money lately doing our improvements, making good progress. But you know, we're 7 years out since our last capacity fee, so costs have gone up, and I believe these fees are in line, and do recommend adoption.
Thank you.
Pat?
In the fee land use category, it states individual determination for so many of the categories. And who makes this determination?
So can you refer to, are you looking at the agenda packet, the exhibit A?
I'm looking at the agenda packet from the other day. It looks like it's on page 44.
Right. Oh, page 44.
It says connection fee for land use category, exhibit A.
So yeah, exhibit A. So yeah, that would come through engineering, and we would make that determination. And we would do that in coordination with the sewer treatment plant, because they have their fee as well for treatment capacity. And but that would be coordinated between the two engineering departments with those agencies.
Okay. Would there be any appeal possible on if the hotel, let's say, did not approve the fee that was being charged? Can they appeal this, or how does that work?
Well, that's a very good question. I would imagine there is a possibility. I am not knowing off the top of my head. I'm looking at the 4.15. It is in our code. So I would imagine there is a process. I can't recite it to you word for word.
Okay. And then I have another question. It was my understanding there was going to be a public hearing after the first reading. And to my knowledge, has that taken place?
If I can answer that one, the public hearing occurs at this meeting. And so at this meeting, I believe the chair at the last meeting opened the public hearing. There was no comment, I believe, and then closed it. And once the staff report is complete today, and once your questions are answered by staff, then the proper procedure would be for Ms. Mayer to officially open the public hearing. And then we would go to clerk Ms. Milton to see if there's any comments submitted. If there are any, or at that conclusion, then it'd be appropriate for the mayor to close the public hearing and then proceed with the roll call vote on the matter.
Okay, because I believe that would have to take place before we have the second reading. Is that true?
The hearing did take place at the last board meeting.
I see what you're saying. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's all my questions.
So at this time, I will, I will, we, I will have, oh, I will open this up to public comment, and this is a public hearing
Yeah.
for the second reading of the ordinance. So at this time, I will open it up for public comment. And for the record, I will go through the clerk, through Miss Milton. But for anyone tuning in, if you could please, for the record, state your name and comments in order that we may address all items on this agenda today. And I would ask that we limit to 3 minutes. 3 minute public comment. I don't know who, if anyone's on the line, but we will, I will turn it over to Leslie at this point. So Leslie?
Thank you, Chair. We published on the agenda, if anyone wanted to participate, they can email comments to cityclerk@ci.seaside.ca.us. That was published on Thursday. We have not received any public comments prior to the meeting. And I'm checking my email now if anyone has sent anything during this conversation. And I have not received any comments on this item at all. And we don't have anyone participating on the line. So if a comment comes up prior to taking a vote, I will let you know.
Okay.
But nothing so far.
Okay. So public comments open. I will call 3 times for public comment and buy a little time if someone's trying to call in. So public comment is still open. And one last time, public comment is still open. I do not see any calls or anyone on the Zoom link, actually. So at this time, I will close public comment and bring this item back to the board for further discussion and or direction. So before you, there is a staff recommendation on page 11. And at this time, I will ask Leslie, the clerk, if I believe it's Leslie who would be reading the second reading of the draft ordinance amending the Seaside County Sanitation District Code. I don't know if that's Leslie or Michael who would like to read that.
Ms. Milton, could you read the ordinance?
The entire ordinance or just the title for the vote?
Just the title.
Oh, okay. What before you is today is an ordinance amending Seaside County Sanitation District Code Chapter 4.15 Permits and Inspections to amend the sewer connection capacity fees.
Okay, thank you, Leslie. So board, before you, we're looking for a motion. That ordinance is on page 14 in your packet. So I'm asking to see if there's a motion for approval. By the
I
board.
move to approve.
Okay.
I second.
We have a second. Okay, all in favor? Oh, myself, I guess I could include myself. I will say yes.
Excuse me, should we roll call vote?
Yes, and then roll call vote.
Okay, second Vice Chair Kaspersky,
Aye.
first Vice Chair Lintel,
Yes.
Chair Carbone.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Okay, thank you. And we will move on to next item, item 7, staff reports. And
Yes, there's really not much to report. I do like to give updates on the construction projects briefly. Our report on the Canyon Delray sewer improvement project is that the project Construction should wrap up this week with some lane striping and punch list items next week. So that's near done. I don't have any great news for our lift station project. Sorry, Director Lintel. Our PG&E issue still remains outstanding, but we are focusing on it. And our Del Monte project continues to move forward. That is a project expected to last through the year. And then I would just like to reiterate, we have our new city engineer, Nisha Patel, and she'll be stepping in as the new district engineer. So Nisha, if you wanted to say a quick word.
Nisha, you're on mute. If
We
you
can't hear you.
Oh,
Oh,
there you
sorry,
there you
I'll
go.
start over.
Okay.
Thanks, Scott, for the introduction. Very glad to be here. I started last week, and I most recently worked at the city of Berkeley as their city engineer and managed their engineering division, which included managing their sewer. And before that, I worked at the town of Corte Madera and oversaw their engineering division, and also they have a sewer district which manages the sewer of Corte Madera, Larkspur, and Tiburon.
Well,
Thanks.
Welcome to the city of Seaside.
Oh, thank you. Thanks.
Yes, welcome. Glad to have you on board.
Yes, looking forward to meeting you in person.
Yeah, no video on my computer, so hopefully we can meet soon.
Okay, well, we'll next move on to board member comments. So any comments from the board this time?
I actually wanted to sort of, I know that we approved the sewer map, the flush map, but it seems to me, and maybe I'm just not seeing the colors correctly, but it seems to me like the June color doesn't even show up on our map. Did we do any flushing this month, Scott?
Yes, we did. Did I miss that?
I think sometimes the colors are a little bit hard to recognize. There's like 4 different shades of green, so maybe it's just me.
Yeah, no, I need to review that with Billy. I will try to clarify. My thought is that might be in Del Rey Oaks.
Well,
Okay.
it looks like it looks like there is some green, but yeah, it looks like it's in Del Rey Oaks.
Is it the
The in the center.
okay, I think I know where you're looking. All right, thanks.
We'll work on that.
It's all good. Okay, I appreciate the update. Thank you.
Pat, Ms. Lintel, any comments?
No, I have none, thank you.
Okay. Okay, well, with that, I will make a brief comment. I believe Jerry Blackwelder, your chair, should be back next month at next month's meeting. If you need anything in the meantime, please feel free to reach out to me. And of course, you know, with this COVID-19, I'll always say we have had a meeting with the the hospitals, and they are recommending that we promote the use of wearing face covers and hand washing. So I'll just put that out there in closing. And So with item 9, adjournment, do we need a motion?
I move to adjourn.
A second.
Okay, a second. Okay, we will call this meeting adjourned, and the next regular scheduled meeting will be Tuesday, August 18th. So see you then, if not sooner. Okay. So we'll call this meeting adjourned. Okay, thank you, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Okay,
Bye.
Thanks.
Bye. Have a good week.
you
Too.
too.
Thank you.